Coming up in this episode, we're going to create a title screen. We've got level 1, we've got a level complete screen that we're going to add a button to, and we're going to build level 2, which has spikes and up and down moving platforms, and then if we jump on the spikes, we die. Welcome back to part 16 of the platform tutorial. In this episode, we are going to build a title screen. We are going to build level 2 and we're going to link them all together. So let's get started. Okay, first thing we need to do is create a new layout. So don't close that. So you can right click, add a layout. We only want the layout. We might need to add an event sheet, but we'll just do the layout only for now. I'm going to call this layout menu, because this is the menu. Now, what we need to do first is make sure that when the game loads, the menu is the first level, the first layout that is shown. Because at the moment, if we go to preview project, which is effectively previewing the game that we've made so far, it will jump us in straight. Oh, because we're on the menu level. Preview project, it will jump us in straight. Oh, have I already changed it? Okay, first layout is default. Okay, so default, basically it will be the first layer at the top there. So let's just put the first layer here to menu. It's good practice to do that, just so you don't have to worry about the hierarchy up here. I mean, you can have the levels in order up here, but if you've got like a non-linear game, then always set the first layout to menu, so that we know that when the game loads, this here menu is the first layout that we see. So with that in mind, now we just need to design the layout. And I'm going to keep it pretty basic. You can keep yours, you can make yours as creative as you want. I'm going to use the layout 2, which is this end of level screen, as a kind of guide to what I'm going to do. So the first thing I want to do is just set the entire layout size to the size of the viewport. So the viewport size is 640 by 360. Sorry, no, it's 320 by 180. So I'm going to change the size of the layout to 320 by 180 as well, so the whole thing fits inside. So there's no need for extra space. Then we can zoom in, and then we can put our title on here. So let's go down to our sprites, because we can just drag out some of these as well to make it nice and pretty. So we've got the water here. That's one that we'll definitely use. And shrink it down. There we go. Put it in along the bottom. We've also got the hills, which we'll bring out. And again, we'll shrink these down. We're going to want to put these in behind. Excuse me. So let's just right click, Z order the water, bring it to the top, drop the hills in just behind. Lovely. That looks good to me. And then we'll put the sky. We've kind of done this in the wrong order, haven't we, really? Put the sky in. Right click, Z order that to the back, to the bottom of the layer. And then let's go with the clouds. Let's Z order this. Yeah, we should have started with the sky, really. Bottom of the layer. Then we can go back to the sky, Z order to the bottom, pop that in behind. Again, we can shrink this down because we don't need it that wide like we did for the level. There we go. Could just do the whole layer like it. Whole layout. Looks a bit repetitive, doesn't it? But it's okay. I think we'll be alright because it's going to be quite in the background. Right click on it. I'm going to change the opacity down to 50, just so it's not quite in your face. Then I want to get the HUD overlay like we did before, and I want to drag this across the whole thing, and I want to make that 50%. No, what do we do? 20%? Yeah, that's okay. I quite like that. 20%, or maybe 10. Yeah, not 100. 10. Or do I? Should the title screen be a bit brighter, perhaps? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it needs to be brighter. So I'm going to just bring that down and just show grid, snap it to grid. Make sure the grid's 16 by 16 so everything fits I think I'm gonna tile this out here. Bring that down, bring it across. Just take a look. Yeah, I quite like that. And then we'll have the menu and the game options and things in here. Right. Yeah, okay, double click. Let's get some text. I'm going to change mine to impact. Again, you can put yours whatever you like. And change the size to 50. And what are we going to call this game? I mean, I don't even know. Platform game. How original and creative is that? Change it down to 30. Platform game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that now. So I'm going to hold down Control. I'm going to drag out a copy. I'm going to turn off. Oh, not that. I'm going to turn off Snap to Grid. So, my mouse. I'm going to turn off Snap to Grid so I can move it around wherever I want. And what I want to do is I'm going to flip this. No, I'm going to give it a drop shadow. So I'm going to turn this one white. And I'm just going to pop it over the top there. Just to a little bit up and a little bit right to that. But I don't think I'm going to keep it white because that's too close to the background. I think we're going to make it a green color. Let's go back to my color wheel. Really nice bright green. Platform game. Yeah, I don't like the color. Maybe red. And maybe we go back to just off-white. Or maybe we bring the black layer to the front and we drop the pale bit behind. Yeah, that's probably better. Platform game. Yeah, that'll do for the title screen. I mean, it's not a tutorial on how to make a title screen, but you get the idea. We just need to name the game, and then we can put some button links down here. So let's now go and create some buttons. So double click. Let's go text. Oh, I don't know why that keeps popping up. My mouse is very sensitive. I'm going to call this one Start Game. Yeah, we can leave it 12, but it's going to be impact again. Shrink it down. Let's go center justification, and then let's just pop that there. Let's change that to txt_start. So when we click the text, it's going to take us into the game. txt_general menu. That's going to change both of them because we've just got a copy of the other one. So we've got start game. We could put options in there, but I'm going to leave it out for now. What I might do down here is I might put a high score section which shows you your best score of the game, but we might come back and do that with the polish. Let's just get the functionality done now. So when we go click start game, we take us to the first layout. So we need to link the menu to an event sheet because at the moment it doesn't have any events, so it doesn't know what to do, so nothing's going to really work on it. So let's just create a new event sheet. So right click, add event sheet, and I'm going to call this menu_e to keep it the same in terms of the naming convention. And then we go back to menu and we just need to link that event sheet to this layout. So now we can put the code in here. Quite simply, all we're going to do on here is use the mouse. We've got the mouse, haven't we? Yeah, mouse. On click object, left clicked and you can choose single or double. It's just going to be singled, and the object is going to be that text that we just set up. txt_start. So when we left click on the start, all we're going to do here is go system. In fact, no, we're going to need to call a function. Because I've got that function in event sheet 1, which is fade in, fade out, but that's not on a global. So we can either link the event sheet on the menu to event sheet 1, which we might do. In fact, we will do, because we're going to be using some of these variables up here, I think, or the high score, the score one at least, perhaps. So yeah, ignore that. Let's get rid of menu E, delete that. It's just going to be a better way to do this. If we go and link this menu now to event sheet 1, now we can just create, or we can put it in the menu navigation. Mouse on left click, that button takes us to layout 1, because that's at the end. We're going to change that. We just click on the little arrow here just once, and then Control C, Control V. You can copy the whole block out, and then just double click in here and change this to text start. So when we left click on the start text, we don't need to worry about that. We can delete that one, and then we go system, go to layout 1. Sorry, no, we go call function first. Function call fade in, or is it fade out? Let's just check. Functions fade in, tweet opacity 20. No, so we need to fade out in 0.5 seconds. So we're going to call the fade out function. Because it's going to take 0.5 seconds, we need to do a system wait, otherwise it won't have time to complete. So you can go wait. We know it's going to take 0.5 seconds, so we're going to wait 0.5 seconds. We're going to pop that in just after fade out. So we're going to fade out, wait 0.5 seconds, and then go to layout 1. So if we go to menu and then run it, there. Although I don't think that. Mouse on left click, text start, call function. Okay, the reason it's not doing it is because we don't have the fade layer. So if you look on here, we've got that locked fade layer which sits on top. So all we need to do is go back to the menu layout, add a new layer, and then we need to call it fade in complete capitals. So it's just popped it straight in on top there. And if you remember, the reason for that is because this fade layer is a global. So as long as we type it in the same case sensitive format, exactly the same in terms of spelling, it's going to pop itself in on there. So now that will work perfectly fine. There you go, fade out, fade in. Perfect. So now we're transitioning from menu screen into game. Again, we're going to add sound effects in an upcoming episode, probably the last one, I would imagine, with a bit of extra polish. So now that works fine. So we've got platformer game, we've got start game, and it takes us into the game. Now when we finish the level, it's going to take us to layout 2, which is this one. Now we need to add in over here a little button that says go to next layer or continue. So double click, we're going to add in again text, and I'm going to call this txt_continue. If we've got multiple levels, we can use this again. We just need to give it an instance variable. I'm going to call the instance variable level. So we can use this same text. I'm going to start it with 1. We can use this same text every time. We just need to change the instance variable and refer to that piece of text whenever we need to use it. That will make a lot more sense as we go. Continue. Pop that down here in the bottom right. Let's make it white. There we go. So now we've got that continue text, and because layer 2 is on event sheet 1 as well, we can just stick this in the menu navigation. So we can just copy this block again, and we can say on left click, but this time change text start to text continue. And now we need to add a condition, because if you look, and this is what I was saying before, if you look, this one now has an instance variable 1. So if we use this same text again, rather than duplicating more and more versions of it, we just change the instance variable to 2 for level 2, 3 for level 3, and then we know what we're doing. So if you just hover over just this section here, not the whole bit, just the bit where it says mouse and then on left click, and then push C on the keyboard, you bring up the condition, and we can just check to see if this text continue. We check instance variable, the level is equal to 1, which it is on this instance. So if we left click it and it's 1, which it is, then we're going to fade out, wait 1 second, and then we're going to go to the next layout, which we haven't completed yet. So we're going to change that in a sec, and that'll be layout 3, because layout 2, remember, is our you win menu. And you could name these again. I'm not going to go back and do that now. So that's going to take us to the next level. So now we need to create the next level. So right click, add a layout. We're going to add our layout only because we're going to link this layout to the event sheet 1 with all of our code on it. And then we just build the level, which is the fun bit. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. You can do the same on your end. You can use all the same sprites here, exactly the same. Remember, you need to put in the collisions, in the collision walls. You need to put in the overlay. We're going to put in the tile map on top again, which we can do. Basically, all you're going to do is recreate this here. So I might not speed it up to start with. I might slow it, or I'll speed it up. I'll slow it down if there's bits that seem a little bit complicated, but we'll try and whiz through it as quickly as we can. So just watch along. Okay, there's my level. I'm going to add in a couple of moving platforms that go up and down through these gaps. All I've done so far is just put the TB ground collision box around to create a level. So we're going to start up in the top left. We're going to finish in the bottom right. There's going to be some spike traps in here that you can fall on and die. We're going to put some enemies around the level as well. I want to just use this moving platform here. If you come over into the in the project window and just right click it, you can just you can clone it right here, call it moving platform 2, which is fine. We can keep that the same, but over here I want to drag out a copy. I'm going to drag out a copy there. Did I already? Yeah, I've got one here. Drag out a copy here, that. And I want to just change the sign behavior from horizontal to vertical. Preview that, and you can see it moves up and down, which is great. I'm only going to make it, well, just that width because that's what it was. So it'll fit nicely in that gap 2 by 2. Let's just see. Yeah, it needs to go down and up further. So we can change the magnitude to 60. We need a multiple of 16, so 160 is probably too much. Yeah, it's way too much. 80. There you go, goes down by 1. So we can probably make it go up another one by adding 16 to that. So we can go 96, and that'll bring it right down to the bottom. That's great. Now the only issue here is because this is a solid object. If we're stood underneath it here and it comes down, it's going to push our player through the floor, which is what we don't want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it back to 80. I'm going to take off two lots of 16, so it's going to stop here. So I'm going to take off 32 from that, So we're going to make it 64 instead, and now it's going to stop too high, which is great. That means it's not going to push us down. It's still going to give us enough to jump up, which is fine. And now all I need to do is just clone this, put one in there as well. So that's going to come down to 3 high. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to build up a couple of little towers. In fact, I might just make them one there. And then again on that side there. It's a bit of a challenge that you've got to jump up if you fall into this cavern. There'll be good stuff to get in here, I'd imagine. We'll put some kind of rewards. That's fine. And then I think I'm going to pop one over here as well. Yeah, I like that, just in case you want to get back up there. Now, I need to bring the player in, so we're going to need a spawn point. So we can bring the spawn point over here. Start the player here. Just underneath it. Let's just test it, make sure it works. See if we can get past it. So we can go down here. Just want to make sure that I can make all the jumps. Get rid of that. Yeah, that works. Perfect. I can get down here. Can fall in the gaps. It's not going to crush us. No, oh, that one won't anyway. That's too high. Go back on the platform. Come back up. Maybe some spikes in here. Yeah, nice. Not quite sure what to do up there. Jump on that. Take me to the top. Can't get across that gap and took some fall damage. Okay. So over here, I think I'm going to take moving platform 1. Make it 1 block wide. No, 2 blocks wide. And I'm going to extend that out there to give it a bit more room. That way if you fall, you'll go back down here and have to come back and redo this little bit again. So it needs to go 64. Perfect. Great. Let me just test it again, make sure it's completable before we put the tile map on top. Perfect, and he gets to the end. Right. Oh. Now let's put the tile map on. So remember, we can add a new layer, right click, add a layer to the top, call this tile map. Go back into your tile maps folder, double click on the one we already have. Let's just copy that, drag a box around it, Control C, close it down, double click on the layer, add a new tile map. Get rid of all of this. Remember, we built it in the editor last time, so we don't have a file for it. But these, you want to line these up perfectly with the 16 by 16. See exactly in the blocks there. Close that down. We've got the tile map on there now. That will now show up in the, here we go, tile map 2. We called the first one TM1. Let's just keep it the same, call it TM2. I can drag that into my tile map folder. So level 2's tile map is there. We can go onto the tile map tab, click the pen tool, and we can draw it in. And like I did before, I'm going to speed it up. But before I do, you can see that that's bringing out a double tile. It's because the tile width is 32. Change that to 16. Tile height, change that to 16 on the left. And now my pen tool will tell me, will pick out just one of these tiles. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. You do the same. and then draw in your level. Okay, I'm going to test that out and see what that looks like. Okay. Yeah, okay. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to put some spikes in these gaps. So we're going to go back to the editor. We can get out of the tile map now. You notice there's no water on this level. That's fine. We don't need to worry about that on every level. Go back to layout 3. Go back onto layer 0. We can lock the tile map now, so we can't touch it. Now we can just play around with the objects on layer 0. So double click anywhere on layer 0, add a new sprite. We're going to make it tile. Change the size to 16 by 16. Not that much. 16 by 16. Zoom in. And we're going to create one basic spike. I'm going to use the line tool. I'm going to go white. I've changed the opacity for some reason. Send that back to 255. Now we're black. Go white. My thickness is 3. Don't want that. Thickness 1. Let's draw a line up to the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Down to the side. Draw a line on the bottom. Let's go again, I try to avoid just greys. We're going to give it a bluey tint there. I'm going to go a little darker. I'm going to come in 2 and I'm going to go up to just there. And I'm going to colour that in that colour, and then I'm going to go darker again. I'm going to come in 1, 2, and I'm going to go up to just, I think, there, right to the top there. I'm going to get the pencil, I'm just going to dot in those lines. I'm going to make the bottom a lot darker, so I'm going to get a nice dark blue. That along the bottom there. And that's going to be my spike. How beautiful those spikes look. Let's change it to TB_spike. And then we're going to pop these in all the gaps along here. That's good. I'm also going to pop some in over here. And I'm going to rotate these. If you hold down Shift, you can rotate it more precisely. I'm going to rotate these. I'm going to pop them down that wall. Probably up to there as well. And I might even drag them over. And again, flip them around. Might even drag them over and pop them on that wall as well. Just, you know, to signify added danger. Maybe bring them right down to the bottom. And then we'll have those there. And then maybe some goodies here that we need to jump over in order to get to. Where else can we put spikes? As this level's traps are going to be spikes. Shrink these down. Rotate them around. We put 2 there as well. Maybe we will put 2 on that one. So we have to drop down to that one. Was that pretty? Is that too obvious? Maybe. Are we being too spike friendly? Do we need to do less? Oh, here we go. Or we're going to put water in here. No, spikes is probably best. Put spikes. And we'll put spikes there as well. This is now a dangerous level. Okay, let's take a look. Obviously, they're not going to kill us right now. I just want to see what they look like in game. Oh no. That was 4 damage, by the way, not spikes. I don't think spikes should give us a point off. I think they should kill us instantly because, you know, they're spikes. So I like the way that he falls behind them as well, actually. That's quite nice. That wasn't intentional, but I quite like it. Right. Now we need to code this in so that the spikes will give us instant death. So we're on the event sheet 1 with this layer, so we can go back to the event sheet 1. We can go back to player death. We've got that in a function as well. Player death. Yeah, this is automatically respawn. So we don't even need to worry about him taking damage here. We can just say on collision with spikes, you know, call the function player death. So we've got our collisions here. Player controls player death. There we go. So add a new event to player death. We're going to go player. Oh, that's the icon. We don't want that one. We're going to go sprites. We're going to go player. We're going to go on collision with another object. And that's going to be SPR underscore spike. So when we collide with the spike, let's just go ahead and call the player death function. So then you should pop and go back to the beginning. He didn't pop. Player death. Okay, because we're calling it on the items layer. We don't have that yet. Destroy, wait 5 seconds. Call fade out. We don't have a fade layer yet. That's why. Wait 1 second. Particles respawn. On items layer, we don't have that. Okay, so it's because we don't have the layers and we don't have the fade layer. So add a layer to the top, call it fade, lock it. If you go back to layer 3, you'll just see it popped in there. Just turn the visibility off. That's that sorted. Right click, items. Same as layer 1, we've got items. We want all of this underneath the fade layer, on top of the tile map though, so we want to spawn those things. I think that's enough. I think that should work. There you go. Beautiful. Exactly what we want. Pop, and back we go. And one more time for fun. There we go. Great. That works perfectly. Now we need to put in the sky. So we go back to layer 1. We've got these backgrounds here that we're just layering down underneath the tile map. So we'll go back, add a layer to the bottom. We're going to call this sky. Layer 0, we've got the player on. So let's make that one transparent. So click on layer 0, make it transparent, because that's not going to be the base layer anymore. We can lock it so we don't mess with it and the items. We're going to go sky, and we're going to drag in the sky sprite that we have, which is tile background 5, I believe. Yeah, which is why it's so important to name your layers. And I think this one's parallax of 0, so it just stays in one place. I've got terrible naming conventions all over the place. We've got clouds, we've got layer 0, we've got background. Yeah, background, parallax 0, 0. So come over here, just so it doesn't move around with us, it will just stay in one place. Pop that on there. Test it, should just be a pink background now. There we go. No matter where we go. Love it. Pop. Love it, love it. We don't need the water in this one because we don't have a water background, but we could put the hills in. So let's add a layer to the bottom. Call it hills. It'll go above the sky. And this one's going to parallax as well, but at a slightly different pace. So we can pop this in here. Zoom out. Yeah, perfect. Make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's probably what we need to do. Pop it in there. Although in fact, I think I will put the water in, because then it'll give us the ability to raise the hills up slightly. So I think I will, just to keep it consistent. Right, we're going to put the hills in there, add another layer to the bottom, call this one water. Again, it's going to go in front of the sky, and it's going to go in front of the hills. Get the water, drag it out here. That looks lovely. Extend it out past the layout. Looks great. I want to keep it the same on the parallaxing. So what did we do on level 1 with the hills? We did that at 80% on the X, and we did the water at 70. So let's go hills, 80% on the X, and the water 70%. And we also got clouds in there as well. I forgot about that. Don't click on it. So the clouds on the cloud background layer, which we put underneath all of that, which is 90%. Okay, so right click, add a layer to the bottom. Clouds, it's going to go above the sky but behind everything else. Tile background 4, which we should really rename, but we haven't. That can go there, that's fine. I'm going to extend it out so it's the same sizes. And this one is going to be 90%. Okay, now that should be pretty much what we've got on level 1. So I'm going to drop down here. Yeah, nice. That makes the spikes pop out a little bit. Great, yeah, happy with that. We need to put a start sign at the beginning. Let's do that now quickly. We can pop this one on the layer 0. Let's lock everything else just so we don't mess with it. Go back on layer 0, get the sign, pop this out, pop it there, there. Move him over 1. Start. We need to put another one at the end, which is going to be down here. pop it here. There. And then frame, remember we've got different animations on different frames. Frame 1 is exit, and then we need to get the exit, pop it here. That's a bit close. Let's pop it there. Or should we put the exit underneath? Yeah, I like that there. Underneath that little ledge there. That's nice. So it falls down there, then drops down there and goes in the exit. So that's the exit. That's on the layer. So because the player's on layer 0, we need the player to be at the top of the level, the top of the layer. Z order, center top. Now we've got an issue with the exit, because if you look at layout 1, at the event sheet 1, on level exit, we've got on collision with sprite exit, it's going to send us to layout 2. So now we need to, because we're using the same sprite again, we need to use that instance variable technique. So we can click on the exit, we can give it an instance variable, and we can give it a level variable. This one's going to be level 2. But go back to level 1, come grab it. This one's going to be level 1. So this is exit 1, and then on layout 3 we've got exit 2. So on the event sheet, we can click on this little bit of text here, just the middle bit, not the whole thing. Hit C, add a condition to it. So go into sprites, go into our sprite exit, and then we need to compare the variable. So if the variable is equal to 1, which is the level 1, not 0, sorry, 1, which is the level 1 exit, then we do this and go to layout 2. Copy the whole thing here and paste it underneath. I can minimize that top one. Now the exact same thing is going to happen, but if it's in level 2, then we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to do all that same stuff, but we're going to go to layout, the next layout effectively. But what we'll do here, because I'm only going to add 2 levels, is we're going to go back to menu. And then change that one as well, back to menu. Remember, because if he's got more health or whatever, or less health, that's going to be fine. So now we've got a way to go through the level. What we could do is we could add an end screen that says you win, but I don't think I'm going to do that in this tutorial, because you get how to do it now. You just duplicate the menu screen, and then he's there. So let's just preview the layout. I'm going to speed through it. There, and we're back to the beginning. We can go start game, take us to level 1. Oh, we do need to add in the wobbles into level 2 and some more signs. Okay, continue takes us back to level 1. Let's fix that now. Event sheet 1, menu navigation. On left click continue, go to layout 3, which is our level. That's fine. Let's go back to layout 3. Let's add in some enemies. Now remember, the enemies can patrol, they just need to have their collision wall. So we can pop that one there, drag out a copy, pop it there. So we can have one enemy patrolling there. We can have one enemy patrolling here. We can have an enemy patrolling down the bottom here. I want one on each of these levels. This is going to be a hard level. One on each of these levels. There. Or maybe just on the middle one. Otherwise it's going to be overkill. We don't want to overkill it. One on the middle one on the bottom, one there. We'll have one down here controlling, and we can have one down here patrolling. And then Put one over on this one. Then we can just grab our enemy, we can drag him out because the code is the same. It's going to work no matter where he is. This is an enemy heavy level. Pop him down there, pop him up there. There we go, we got an enemy. Now we need to put in some heart pickups. So we'll pop that one there. No, because you're not going to lose any health there. Maybe one up there. And then maybe a heart down there. Put one up, put one in there. You can get to it. If you fall, you can get that one back. We'll pop this one down there as a little teaser. We'll pop that one up there. Now we need to put some bombs in that we can pick up. So remember the SPR bomb is the pickup. Drag one out. Let's give us a bomb nice and early so we can deal with this fella. So I'll pop that one down there. And I'll pop another one. What I'll do is I'm going to change the grid size to 8x8 so I can get these directly above the blocks there. So we'll pop it on the level. And then I'm going to drop another one down there next to the heart. So if you do go down, you can get that. I'm going to pop another one there. You have to jump across that. No, that seems silly. Let's pop it there. It doesn't really matter. Put another one down there. We can put this one there. Right, okay, I'm going to whiz through the level again, just make sure it's playable. I'll do it in fast mode. Okay, it's playable. It's fine. Now we need to put the HUD in. If you remember, if you noticed, we need to put coins in. Let's put the coins in first. This one here. So we'll put these along here to be picked up as we move. What I also want to do is I want to tease the player, or do I? Yeah, I think I'll put some coins down here as well. Just so it shows the player that there's perhaps a little something to get. Put those down there. No, not two, because it's going to encourage him to drop down twice, but maybe just there. Put 3 there. Put 1 on each of these pillars. There. We'll put a few down here. Just make sure that that guy is on top. Z order, send to top, otherwise it's going to go behind the coins, which we don't want. I think the same with this as well. Send on top. Send on top. Put some coins down here. And some more over there. There we go, coins done. Now HUD. So all we need to do, because the HUD's a global layer, if you look on here, all we need to do is recreate it and just case sensitive it the same. Right click, add layer to the top, HUD, and then it magically appears. There it is, nice and easy. It's going to be underneath the fade. Let's see if it works. So we don't even need to worry about any of that stuff. But I don't like the fact that we jump out of the top there. We can change that, that's not an issue. All we need to do here, lock the HUD, lock everything else except this here, let's see. Make it go too high. Move it back to the top. No, because you're gonna see it. Let's get another one. TB ground on layer 0, bring it out, and then just pop it in. Oh no, it's not, because the HUD's going to stay in one place. Okay, I don't know if there's much we're going to be able to do about that unless we double down the whole thing. I'm not going to worry about it. You could fix that quite easy just by bringing that down too, and then, in fact, let's do it. Let's not be lazy. Go up to click on the tile map down the bottom here, go to TM2, which is our tile map 2. Our tile map layer is locked. Unlock it, select it, TM2, grab the pencil. Let's use the brown, and then we're just going to draw in a double layer here, all the way across. Let's test it out. Much better. Now it doesn't jump through the HUD. Okay, now we can't get through that bit. No, we just need to change that slightly. All we need to do here is get that tile and just move it here. Recreate it exactly as it is. Get the eraser, get rid of that, and then I just need to move that block. So click back on layout 3. We can lock the tile map again. Click on it, drag it down. That should fix all our problems. I think that's it. I think that's good. We've got everything in place. We've got the HUD, we've got the tile map. It plays through from beginning to end. I'm going to leave it right here. Thanks for watching, guys. There may be one more tutorial with a little bit more polish and sound. In fact, there definitely will be one more with sound, which we'll do shortly. If you've made it this far, thanks very much. Leave me any comments if you've got any questions, and I will see you in the next one.